So let's, squishy. Okay, so are we live?
That's a good question. I feel like, yeah.
Oh, we are. Oh, shoot. Okay, so Alyea and I are going to talk about weekend plans and revisit some of my wellness plans she's helping me work through, and we're excited to see you guys for a full 30 minutes.
Happy Friday. I know we're not in a rush today.
Yes.
We're not in a hurry.
Okay, I'm going to do our intro.
Do the intro.
Yes. So we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Oh,
Okay.
We're figuring it out.
We are.
The gift of experience. Yes.
I mean, last week it took us 30 minutes.
We're getting better.
This week it took us 5.
Alice was just checking things off when I came in.
I don't know.
You did great.
Let's see if I can figure out how to get our sponsors up.
There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That wasn't, okay. One of these is, let me try one more. Oh, there they are.
There they
our
are.
Sponsors.
Okay.
We had those up for the first 4 attempts of the show last week.
Yes, that's right.
And then when we finally got through, everything went out the window.
Okay.
We just tried to get into
Should we just keep them up the whole time?
Yeah,
now?
let's keep them up.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, so, hey.
How are you?
Good. It's Friday.
I know.
Was thinking about recap of the weekend, and I had already forgot it was a 3-day weekend.
Oh, like this past weekend?
Yeah, well, I guess.
Yeah,
it's 2 days.
It's all good. The kids had fun. They had a dude day, so my men all hung out. They went on a hike and did some things. By like 9 a.m., I had texted, "How is it going?" And Noah, my husband, had said there were a couple non-mommy approved activities.
Oh.
So I said, I'm not going to ask any questions. It's like, is there any blood? Like, no blood. So
everyone's alive.
Everybody's alive. It's fine.
That's funny.
How about
we call
you?
a lot of those things like daddy daycare.
Daddy daycare.
Like, you get to a point where, I know you were at work, so it wasn't like you were off doing, fun things, like a girls' trip or anything. But I'm like, I don't even care.
I know.
If they eat McDonald's every meal.
That's right.
Whatever you got to do to keep them
They
alive.
ate Chick-fil-A. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. We talk about Chick-fil-A a lot. They need to be a sponsor.
Yes.
We need to get them on here.
I mean, that'd be.
K-ROG.
I am first name basis with Dan.
Oh.
Is Dan
he
like a manager? He runs the place.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's super nice. He seems like
Charles is like, why do you know the manager by first name basis? I'm like,
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So okay, but you had like a basketball.
Yeah, it was fun.
Day.
So Charles is a banker, so he gets these holidays.
Oh,
so that is
awesome.
fun.
Cool.
Usually the kids are in school, so he takes them to school. But they wanted to do a play date at Urban Air, but we made that for Saturday, which that is one of my things to talk about. I didn't realize so many people frequent the mall on the weekend. It was insane. But so yeah,
I can't do the carpet at the mall. The carpet just
like the feel of it, the style of it.
I grew up in this town, born and raised, and I think it's the same carpet. So we need to upgrade. It just, I don't know what it is. It kind of gets me every time.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
That's all I got about the mall.
You're not going to the mall barefoot ever.
And like I have taken the kids and like Xander will like roll around on the ground, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, Gavin is not Xander's age, and he dropped a Pringle at the barber shop the other day.
And he just ate it?
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you're 7, buddy. Like, we don't do that.
I noticed he got a haircut in the game.
Yes, he did. But so they wanted to go to Urban Air on President's Day, but the play date we scheduled, they could do Saturday. So I was like, okay, if I can do this play date on Saturday, can we go to basketball camp on Monday? They're like, sure. So I'm thinking, who's going to be at the mall? So we made a plan to meet at 12:30 at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
The food court was nuts. Yeah. And Urban Air was nuts. The kids had a blast. We were there for 5 hours.
Say it. What? That was your day?
Because Chick-fil-A, Urban Air, and then my kids are obsessed with looking at basketball shoes. Yeah. So we visited all of them. That's cute. Well,
well, that was fun for them.
It was so fun. And I was there with my friend Blair. Oh, yeah. So it felt like a mommy play date also. So we got to sit and visit. Good. Yeah, but then they went to a basketball camp on Monday, so that was fun. Awesome. And Charles and I had a date day. Oh, yeah. Are there places like when you and Noah have time together? I feel like we get so excited about this time. Yeah. We love food. We always have a good time having food, but then it's like, where
do we go? So I saw this hilarious, like, whatever, TikTok thing on a husband waiting on his wife to decide where they were going to go eat. She's like, I don't care. And then, like, she's getting ready. Anyways, but Noah literally this morning had talked about wanting to go to Gailey's for breakfast, because I'm going to breakfast with my parents and the boys tomorrow. I'll tell you why. I've got some big plans tomorrow morning. But we are going to, or he wanted to go to Gailey's. I was like, Alice and Charles went on their date day there, and we haven't been forever. I used to live literally, before I got married, I lived across from Gailey's in a loft.
Oh, I think that would be so fun. I need you to tell me about that someday.
Well, so I can vicariously through you. I don't know if you want to go. I can't go back there. I've tried to cut it out of my life. But no, it was good. And it was so fun, but we would go put our name on the list, because that place, speaking of crowded, was always, we put our name on the list, go back home, and hang out for like 2 hours. Yeah. So how did you guys get in? You just waited?
It was a Sunday. It was Super Bowl Sunday when we went there, and we didn't go to church that morning, so we got there a little bit earlier. And I think when we were leaving at like 10:30, that's when there was like a wait all down the sidewalk. So I think people just, if they're typically going to eat out for breakfast on Sunday, maybe go a little bit later. I don't know. Yeah,
I bet you're right. So you ask if Noah and I have like our standard places, or like places. Yeah. I have one that I love that is like super casual, and we'll go to craft sushi.
Oh, I love craft sushi.
We love craft sushi. Yeah. We just go and we sit, and we just love it there.
So the food part, I feel like we have down. It's the we tried to do, we had a bunch of gift cards. Yeah. So we wanted to like go to all these places to use these gift cards. Well, we found nothing. And then we're like, now what? I feel like we either set out to do shopping and food, or like sometimes we'll just like walk the Secret Trail and then do the Rock. That's our favorite. But we had planned on using these gift cards. We like struck out everywhere, and then we're like, there's really nowhere to shop. Yeah. Beyond our like 3 places we go to.
I'm not a shopper. Like Noah and I are like, we go in with whatever we need to get and get out. And like, my husband is
lucked out.
He's either in 1 or 2 moods. I want him to be in the second mood, which the first one is like, we're not spending any money. Like, we don't need this. The second is he just keeps grabbing stuff and everything's fine. And I'm like, yes. So then I go, the boys need this, the boys need that. So then we do a lot of shopping. Like, we'll go to the Old Navy outlet. So we go to Branson. We like the outlet. We like Level 2. We did that for Valentine's Day. And when he's in that mood, the boys come back with all new wardrobes, and I might get a few new items too, which is nice. So, yeah.
Charles has never been in that kind of mood, but I have another friend. Her husband does the same thing. He's like hot or cold, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. And she's like,
so funny.
Her kids as teenagers, she would say they'd pick up on it like at Sam's. It would be like, they'd be like grabbing everything. Like, sure, we need to do snowboard.
Sam, same. Like, we'll come. I'm like, he'll text me when he's at Costco, and he's like, what did he text me a picture of? It was a archery thing from Costco.
You need that.
Clearly we need that. I'm sure it was a couple $100s. I was like, yeah. I'm like, if you're in the mood, let's do this. Like,
that's funny.
He did not bring that home, but just funny.
We went to the mall because we both like Gearhead. Charles had gotten a gift card to Gearhead, and then I wanted to like go to Dillard's or something. And so he's like, okay, well, I'm going to use the restroom, then I'll find you. So he texts me. He's like, I'm sitting outside of JCPenney's. So there's like all these like semicircle couches, and there's like these, old men. Yeah, and then there's Charles like reading. I was like, you're going to be such a good old man someday, waiting on me at the mall.
I feel like he will. So does he like to shop or is he? No.
No, he does not like to. I mean, he doesn't hate it. He's come a long way.
Okay.
He is, he's a banker. He likes.
Yeah,
he doesn't love to spend money on stuff. He doesn't think we need anything ever.
I think we
rubbed
kind
off
of
on each
don't.
other.
That's good.
Yeah, like he's a little bit more flexible, and I'm a little bit more like I can talk myself out of anything, which is sometimes annoying.
Yeah, that's true.
Because used to, I'd be like, I need this.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I mean, I probably don't really need this.
Don't need it. I'm kind of getting there, because I actually think that this goes into what we're going to talk about, like clutter and having too much of things.
Yes.
So like I'm kind of getting to where I'm like, I don't need things because my office is stressing me out. It is the like pitch all for everything.
Your office at your home or at your work?
At my home. At my home. I have a obviously work office, but then home office, and it's like where I wrapped all of the kids' Christmas presents, and so I can lock it, and like it just is stressing me out. So I saw that you have some goals.
I have lots of areas in my house that look like that.
Okay, should we talk about this weekend's plans really
well,
quick?
let's maybe at the end.
Okay, let's
talk about this weekend.
That sounds good.
So, I kind of, we talked about last week a little bit of like adjectives. So I feel like we talked about that. So I did come up with 3 goals.
Okay.
Which one of them that we're going to talk about is probably sad that I'm like, I think I can do this in 3 months because it feels like a long period of time.
It's real. You got to have realistic, smart goals, right?
So,
timeline. I like how you did that.
Well, so my 3 goals were, so Cassie and Megan and I at the beginning of the year had set a goal to do like 5 days a week working out and 80 ounces of water. And so I've been doing that.
Yes.
So we started working out at AYB.
Yep.
Which they asked about you on.
They're like, where is she?
Yeah, so I think she's having to do different times right now. Yeah. So 3 days at AYB, 5 days a week exercise, and the water. So that's that. And then
you're killing the water. I feel like.
Yeah.
And I have a weird thing. Like, is that like Pavlov's bell? Like when I hear the word water, I have to drink water.
Oh.
It's weird. Like I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's funny because whenever I
makes me think I need to drink
I'm like,
water.
I need a diet soda. That's
drink
the only
water.
thing I feel like I need.
Okay.
So then I love the season of basketball.
Okay.
And both my kids do basketball.
Yeah. Ballers.
We basketball, well.
No, they are. I mean, Gavin's grin when he makes a shot. I love it. He kind of just like, I love watching the Hatchdales and your parents. What is your, it's
Mary and Dave.
But okay, Mary and Dave.
Nana and Pops.
Nana and Pops.
To the kids.
All of them. I love their family. They got the cheering section. I just like to watch you guys react to Gavin make a shot because he just has that little
I'm
grin.
so thankful that I'm terrible at videoing. So
oh yeah, I will record your
clips,
kids
I'm
for
like,
you.
I love it. Thank you. But and they're not even like necessarily super early games or super late games. But dinner, I don't even know.
I don't know how people do it.
I'm so tired of drive-thrus.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we need to talk about that. So what's the goal?
So my goal was figure out meals and dinners with the craziness of basketball season.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and with Charles' work schedule, it's a whole thing. I just, and I'm sometimes try to be I love efficiency, but sometimes try to be like the perfect plan instead of like, we might have to eat this time and Charles going to have to eat. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
right.
That my sister-in-law has 3 children and the teenagers are very involved so far. And that's her thing. My brother works till like 9 or 10 o'clock. And so just all of it. And sometimes not that late, but like he's a pharmacist. And so sometimes his hours are weird, but she will prepare food like during the day and then just whoever can eat it will eat it whenever they can.
Yeah.
And the kids have to eat, I think, what everybody else eats.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing too, is like you don't want to have to make 2 different dinners.
Yeah.
I am so into these meatballs from Costco. I am telling you, we'll do that with salad.
Oh yeah, we
so
tried
much.
those.
Did you like them?
I did. The teriyaki. They only had teriyaki pineapple.
Yeah.
I didn't see any other.
Yeah.
No, they were good. We had them for one of the play games.
So last night we went to Highland for just like a nice dinner after, and Thursday kids eat free. And so we were there, and our server was talking about how her roommate is a dietetics student. My husband's a registered dietitian by trade. And so they were talking about how her roommate gets paid to go into people's houses and has several clients at Highland and cooks their dinner for them.
Oh, sounds dreamy.
I was like, that is a dream come true. I need that in my life. healthy meals and she prepares everything. I was like, oh my gosh.
Mine
that's
is,
next level.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I could do, it's the timing. Cause like if there's a 5:30 game, you've got to leave at 4:45. You can't eat dinner at 4:30.
No.
Or then they're starving again. Or if it's just, I just feel like we're driving.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about strategies with that. Okay.
And then my last one is clean out and organize our master bedroom, bathroom, and closet, which that could take 3 months for me. That's a lot. Just for me. For the normal person, it could probably take like a week.
No, but you do it right. Alice, I know, pulls everything out of said whatever space.
Well,
yes.
Talk about it. Yes, that's probably why it hasn't been done, because I can't. I wish I could just be like, this will be good enough for now, but I can't. I have to
It's a lot. And I mean, these are great goals. And so, all right, having a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? Is that the thing? Okay.
Yes.
So we got to talk. I mean, we're not going to do it today, but let's talk about, let's pick one of them and see how you could, because also we want other people to chime in and give their ideas, their success stories, right?
You're on our live feed.
I don't know.
We would love a comment, and we can, I know, but that's what I love about these shows.
And it feels
you can go back and watch. Like I just watched the Morning Waffle today from Tuesday.
And it was
great. So we might not have live, but if we have a comment, we can pull it up on the screen and chat.
Yeah, no comments yet, but I feel like as people watch it, they're going to comment. So. But
so I feel like, honestly, I feel like I'm doing well on the exercise.
Yeah.
I feel like if I could get my closet and bedroom like how I want it, it would affect all of these things.
It does. I feel like when your life is in chaos, it just or not life, your whatever room is in chaos, it makes your rest of your life feel like that. Yes. That's how my office is, right? My home office, I have goals. In the next couple weeks, I have bought storage containers because I don't think I've mentioned, we're building a monstrosity of an outbuilding on our property. And we don't have much storage in our house. So I feel like I've got big goals I have decorations for every holiday that I'm trying to put in piles so that I can just put it all out there. And it's like the office has become there's a pile for Valentine's Day. And
that's my craft room.
Okay. So I have that kind of everywhere, but it's in our office mostly because then all the rest of the house is literally very clean.
Yeah.
Except for that room.
I feel like I keep my upstairs. The basement, I walk down with one eye closed. And so I looked up some cleaning out a closet goals.
Okay.
Which we don't really have to talk about, but.
No, but.
No, what?
Well.
What are you going to ask?
The
thought of pulling everything out of my closet, I'm like, are we going to sleep downstairs for a month? Where do you put that stuff?
So I did that in my old house. Well, and actually we had to do it in our, it's a lot. But it forces you to literally get in it and see what you want to keep. So, because the first house, it was by choice. I had watched Marie Kondo.
Yes. So, does this bring me joy?
So I literally piled everything up in our jacuzzi tub it didn't even work. This was our old house. So, it was literally ridiculous. So I piled it all the way up. And then Noah was like, what are you doing? So that ended up being good. So then when we moved and everything, we were 2 years after living there, then of course the closet that we had before came crashing in.
Yeah, but you got a brand new one out of the deal, right?
Out of the deal because we were living with.
So you just did all this. Yes. You just put everything back into a closet,
and it looks great. Yeah, and it was hard.
You can see everything that you have. I mean, I wear the same.
Yes. So here's functional. Noah he didn't think it was as functional as he'd like it because he doesn't really care what it looks like. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I wanted baskets. And so I took the things that were the most used that are hardest to get to. Obviously you wear your clothes and I wear my dress clothes every day. So they had to be hanging up and organized by dresses and dress shirts and stuff like that. But workout shirts, workout pants, I put them in baskets and folded them really nice so that I could still access them and not take them all out. That was the big thing. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I don't know. I feel better about it, but you have to be really careful as you take your clothes off. That's the thing is you can get back to where you were real quick unless you're purposeful and putting things back.
Well, and half the stuff in there, I don't even wear.
I know.
I mean, I've got cubbies. I'm I don't even know when I got these pants down here folded up. They're probably have dust marks on them. And then sometimes I get paralyzed by what do I do with this? I went through all my old costume jewelry that I've worn in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't I feel bad throwing it away if it could go somewhere. So then I get in this, like, I got to Google everything, and then I haven't made, I don't know, time goes by and they're still all sitting there.
Okay. Well, I think we need to, I think I like your time frame, but like what times are you going to work on this?
This is
like
good
little chunks?
Accountability for me too, saying this, like.
I know. That's my office.
All 2 viewers.
No, we had a lot of
no, we did have a lot of views, but
so
the accountability
I like it.
is good for me.
Accountability, it's going to feel amazing.
Okay, and speaking of viewers in the show, I have a confession. I came on the show in the fall as like a guest talking about PTA, and then they so graciously invited me to keep coming back, and I loved it. So I'm still here. But I had never watched back the show ever. So on Friday, I must have gotten on Facebook, and it popped up on my news feed, and it was silent. The volume was off. So I was like, I kind of watched it for a second, and I knew what we were saying just because it was fresh in my mind. Yeah. So then I felt like I was being real brave. Yeah. I turned the sound on because I think I've always been scared that I have some annoying,
like a Mickey Mouse,
just some a twitch or a word I use all the time.
Everybody picks themselves apart, including myself.
Well, that's why I didn't want to, but it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. But I don't know, you probably know this, but I grew up in Alabama, so I was listening, and I feel like sometimes my words, I'm like, oh, or oh yeah. And I'm like, oh, stop that, cut that off. So I was kind of critiquing myself, even though.
But it's so fun and different. That's a unique thing about you, and it's so fun. And you're warm and hospitable and.
Well, you're sweet. I just, I don't know. I think I was scared to find some things that I do that's annoying. But it made me think, you have a degree in journalism.
I do.
I'm sure
clearly
they probably,
using it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Your professors at Mizzou are probably go, Alyea.
Yeah, no, they're what is she? She is putting the Mizzou name too. But no
way.
Yeah.
So what did you learn anything? What did they tell you? What
I
are
learned
the top?
A lot. So I did go to the Mizzou School of Journalism, and then for 3 years after I graduated, I stayed there and anchored a morning news show for 3 years. And so I did that, and so I think your question was, did I learn anything? Yes, I learned that is not what I want to do with my life.
Oh, gotcha.
But I love TV, and it's so crazy. It always finds a way to find me again, and I come back to it. So I did that after I graduated. I loved the journalism school. It's absolutely amazing. And actually, I kind of want to go back and get there's a school of convergence now. So it talks about, the online stuff and just all of the they're called anymore. The mediums, so all of from your phone to print journalism to TV, it's all connected, and you're writing
you
stories.
And Will could talk about
I
this.
know. We probably could. We need to have Will on the show as our guest. No,
because he's not on enough shows.
I was we'll have him on his own show. So, but no, and just putting it all together, because it's you as a journalist have to be able to do it all now, and so because you can do more with less, and so. I think I'm very interested in that. They also have a social media marketing or strategic marketing school in their journalism school, and I kind of want to go to that because I feel like with all my husband's businesses that he starts, there's just a lot of strategy in that whole social media thing that I'd like to learn more about. So who knows? I looked it up. But it's funny because I did that. I loved it. It gave me, I actually started doing weekend weather to kind of, get better at ad-libbing and being comfortable in front of the camera, because the meteorologists don't have a script. They're just kind of talking and doing all the things. So I started doing that for a year and a half, and then that slowly went to doing the morning show, and I loved it. I loved every bit of talking to people and doing that. But then, of course, decided to quit and disappoint all my family and all the things, but it was fine. It worked out because I, all the things that lead you to where you're at and who you're with and everything like that. But it's funny because I always, in my 20s, did a lot of industrial videos and worked with an agency and did all these things to stay on camera. And then, for my old church, I did the announcements and did things like that. And then here we are. So it's TV, it finds a way to find me. I don't know how, but I love it.
So when do they teach you? Is it journalism 101? What are the things that they're don't do this on camera? Or do they go through?
Oh yeah.
Or do people, there's
classes.
What are the common?
Well, chewing gum is a big one.
Okay. No gum.
I know. So I usually, as soon as I come in, I spit my gum out. But There's tons of things like on air. You mean like
Yeah.
what to do?
Like when I was listening back to our show, I was like crossing my fingers that I wouldn't have some.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'm doing
annoying
all
habit.
the things. And I think, my news director, he was pretty blunt, and he would be like, man, we got to do something about those dark circles. Like, you just like very critical, right? Like, it's a bit like they want to make you this, like, you got to be, and it's different in news, local news versus just having fun. But it's tough. But yeah, all the things that you wouldn't do in a normal conversation, you don't want to do on TV. But I think also just being yourself, being comfortable. And doing that.
I guess I was thinking more like, in public speaking, they're like, don't do this. Don't say, or like,
what they do is obviously you go to the station, you learn, you do stories and packages, and then you literally sit in front of your teacher and they critique you.
Yeah.
And so that's where you learn.
That's why I've never watched it back, because I would be like my biggest.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. That's how everybody is. But it's funny that you said you'd never watched it and you've done like how many, 50 shows maybe?
I don't know, since the fall.
Right. I've done only 2. Right. This is my 3rd.
Yeah.
I've watched them both.
Yeah. No,
like,
after I watched it,
like,
and I actually, I don't really share anything or upload anything on Facebook, but I actually shared it. And then even Charles had friends that were like,
I love that. So we should say hi, right? To everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Anyways.
I thought, I was like, do we have a comment? That's what I thought you meant. I should say hi.
That's fun. Okay. I've got
So
the
yeah,
caption.
so I was just curious. And I enjoyed listening back to us. So hopefully you guys are enjoying. And if you have, we put in our little headliner, if you have anything you want us to talk about or comment, we would love to hear from some people.
Yeah, we're going to let's tease the one that we're going to talk about in a few weeks. We're going to talk about just like if your like spouse or husband is out of town a lot for work. I think that's a big one. Like, how do you run the ship, drive, whatever you
and going back and forth to like
That's
everybody
a big
being
one.
home, to not everybody being home, back and forth,
It's a lot. I feel like it's one, when Noah does travel for work or whatever, it really makes me have such a respect for single moms. I literally don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, and so then, but also too, like, I feel like it is hard on the husband because like, just all the things or whoever's traveling, because that's a lot too.
Yeah.
So we should talk about that.
Yeah. And real quick, I didn't want to forget this, but, we just wrapped up our PTA Boosterthon fundraiser and we hit our goal. So
25,000?
Thank you, Rogersville. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Go Raj.
I know. It has been such a successful
I have
fundraiser.
questions, though, about the fundraiser. I know you can
Lauren
answer.
was here.
Okay, but also we want to like
just
Alice,
tell me where to be and when to be.
Let's just give Alice some like
Well,
props because
no.
she literally she's the prize woman and all the things. Like Noah's coming home with a different jump rope and a thing and and he loved it. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, so great job. on
Boosterthon
that.
really it is. They send us it's information overload. You can ask Lauren. She's been our key on point person. Oh yeah, and she doesn't have enough full-time jobs, but they really have it
pretty
set up, lined up for us. We just follow the script and
But
so
still, it's a lot of work.
Good. Yeah,
So
it's been good.
my question about because this just makes me sound like a bad mom, but Noah, my 7-year-old, is in first grade, and so per lap, what does that mean?
Well, we did.
Yes.
We did.
I thought there was going to be running.
Dance fit.
So
So
they
some, there
dance
have
for
been
30
years.
minutes.
There have been laps.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year was dance fit. You get a choice.
Okay.
So they danced.
Oh,
in the
but the whole
gym.
school has to do the same thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They just have a video.
I was so confused, but I loved
It
the video.
is-
That video that they made for you.
Yeah,
pretty legit.
yeah.
I thought
And
that
they
was
set
really good.
everything. Yeah, they really do a lot of the behind the scenes.
That was cool. So, but that's awesome. They raised the goal.
So we made our goal.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we've been thinking about ways that we can, just ways to help teachers and, planning out for next year, what we can do with that.
Okay.
The rest of this year and for next year,
What do you think was the most successful part of this year's Boosterthon?
the most success? I mean, reaching our goal.
Just reaching the goal.
Yeah.
Do we reach the goal every year or?
Oh yeah. We have very generous.
That's
community.
amazing.
Yeah.
Go Rogers.
So yeah.
Cool.
So
Okay. Well, great job.
yes. So Boosterthon is over, which you can still give through next week.
Okay.
I think is
Good to
when
know.
the giving ends.
Cool.
But I had noticed on the K-ROG Facebook page that the high school pom cats are going to state this weekend. They are so good.
So cute. That's amazing.
I remember the first time I saw them at a halftime show years ago, okay, the dancers are coming out. And not to belittle just the halftime show, but I was like, they're really good. They're really good.
Kids
so
these
go
days,
Palmcats.
like confession, like there's part of me that just wants to quit it all and just be like a dancer. Like I am terrible, but I like think about that a lot. Like when I hear good music, I see myself like doing weird things. So I know, but I'm telling you, when those girls, they do it, and I'm like, that is so impressive. I watched another True Confession cheer. They're so impressive, like how they do the cheerleading, and it's like such a sport.
Yeah,
it's so amazing.
Oh, totally.
I didn't do that in high school.
Yeah, Palmcats are going to stay, and then our basketball team is going to their district tournament next week.
That's
and
awesome.
They've had a great year too. So I think that is in Hollister.
Now, is that Sherelle's son? Is he on that team?
No, he's 8th grader.
Oh, just kidding. Man.
Yeah. In a couple of years, he will be.
That's
but the 7th and 8th grade teams have been awesome. We've got some really great.
Some good.
Yeah.
Gavin
sports.
Hatchell and Lane, they're coming up. I love
we'll
it.
See, they love it.
I love it.
What about what are your weekend plans? You said you're doing something big tomorrow with your mom
Doing
and dad?
something big. So this is exciting. My 7-year-old Noah, who we call Boogie, he probably wouldn't like that I said that. We are running in our first ever 5K together. So we're running a 5K. It's called Run to the Yeti at Rutledge Wilson. 5K, 3 miles. So he's been training, and I mean, the kid can just run. He's got that good pace, and so it's so exciting. We watched Abominable, like, because that's a Yeti.
Yes.
It's such a cute movie. If you haven't seen it, but we're just excited.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
I'm not even sure. I try not to.
No.
Nah, you know,
Okay.
we just
gonna
there's
wake
no
up
such
and
thing
figure
as
it out.
bad weather, only bad gear. So we just put on the right clothes. We'll get it. My parents are gonna meet us out there and cheer us on. So it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be fun. Boogie's
What
excited.
a sense of accomplishment.
Oh,
That's
we'll
huge.
see. So what about you?
Well,
you-
yes, Charles and I
you
are
gonna go?
going to see Hamilton.
Oh my god. That's exciting.
I used to not love to make plans so far out because I'd be like, oh, it's not till. But now I love it because then when it gets here, you're like, oh,
that's
so
a big one. How'd you get tickets? You just got on. You just
We
did it?
have a friend who has season
Gotta have a
tickets,
friend.
and he gets first dibs.
Cool.
So we bought those. And then basketball, but my parents are going to keep the kids overnight. I feel like we keep this doesn't happen often, but like Monday we had a date day. Now we've got a date night, Saturday night. I'm like, hey.
I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. It makes you guys connect and
Yeah,
do
and
things.
then I actually Googled like things going on in Rogersville.
Yeah.
But I don't know
so good.
what they are. It brought up like there's a home and garden show in Springfield.
Yes.
My parents are taking my nephew to a reptile thing.
Okay, well, good for the reptiles. I'm not really
he's-
there yet.
Oh
but
yeah, no, he's into snakes.
Snakes.
No, and then tonight, if you don't have plans, I know it's short notice, but at James River they're having a design sisterhood night.
Oh, that's
so
right.
and you can go or you
Very
can watch
cool.
online.
Oh.
But it's super encouraging.
You know what
for
I did
women.
see? Yes, I love that's such a good one. The egg hunt, the Easter egg hunt. I saw for Rogersville.
Yes.
It's like coming up, or I mean, it's in a
I
couple
got an
weeks.
email about that too.
I love that. Katie, what is she?
She's
work
over
at
the
Mercy.
parks.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so
you
I saw
know her.
I
You
do.
guys are
We used to
buds.
be colleagues at Mercy, and so I'm excited. Like, so is that the first time that's happened? I feel like I don't know.
I think it said
We'll-
first annual.
We'll do our research.
Yeah.
Which first annual? There's no such thing as first annual. That's the second annual. I'm telling you. I love you, Katie. Just saying.
the very first Easter egg.
Next year will be second annual.
That's so
Anyways,
funny.
that's just going back to the journalism days. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do research and get excited about it, and then
You should watch the morning waffle from this week. They had a funny part about like words people use that are like not actual words, and you know what I mean. It's just funny.
I tell you?
I was
Okay.
laughing out loud watching it. So they're funny. You know, they don't plan. Like we come up with like an outline, but we can talk.
I think Alice
well,
does.
but we
and
can
I
just talk.
Oblige.
But they just literally show up.
I love that
and
though.
talk.
That's great.
I love the idea of that. I think my brain
But you're
would
so
start to be
amazing.
Like, well, no.
I loved that.
I just
so
like
was
to
all
have
right,
an
that's-
outline. So if my brain goes,
Whoops.
I can look.
I think
But they're so good. They are funny. I was like eating my breakfast this morning, laughing, watching it. But
That's awesome. Well, I love that. We should come up with words that so there's a comedian who I love, Nate Bargatze. He and his wife get in a fight about the phrase one fell swoop. He said it was like the biggest, dumbest fight they've ever had.
Oh.
We should come up with that. Let's do a show on the dumbest fight that you and your spouse ever had.
yeah.
Oh, I've got one. It was recent. So I actually
Okay.
have photo proof that I can't show on TV, but
it happened.
it
You
happened.
can
We
prove
got
that it
over it and it's fine. So it was bad though. Okay. So
I started to say Charles and I never argue.
Oh.
I couldn't say it with a straight face.
Okay.
Just kidding. So, anyways, we'll have fun at your 5K.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait to see
I'll bring the medal in
pictures.
next week.
He'll be so proud.
I hope so.
sweet.
Good.
And yeah, we will see you guys. Thanks for watching. We got a full show in.
I love it.
And
So
we got
fun.
our sponsors up. I feel
Yay.
like we're getting better every time.
We're getting awesome.
So we hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.
See you next week. Happy
Yeah.
Friday.